Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Legend Voice. Today video topic is Ibn al-Haytham, father of optics. More than 1000 years ago, in an age when much of the world still relied on ancient beliefs to explain nature, one extraordinary man dared to ask a simple question: how do we really see? The answer would change science forever. His discoveries would shape the future of physics, medicine, engineering, photography, astronomy, and even the smartphones and cameras we use today. His name was Ibn al-Haytham, known in Europe as Al-Hazan. Today, he is remembered as the father of optics and one of the pioneers of the modern scientific method. This is the remarkable story of a man whose ideas illuminated the world. Birth in Basra around the year 965 CE in the thriving city of Basra, located in present-day Iraq, a boy was born who would eventually become one of history's greatest scientists. His full name was Abu Ali al-Hasan Ibn al-Hasan Ibn al-Haytham. Basra was more than just a busy trading city. It was a center of knowledge where scholars from different lands exchanged ideas in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. Growing up in such an environment, young Ibn al-Haytham developed a deep curiosity about the world around him. Unlike many children, he was fascinated not only by stories but by questions. Why does light travel? Why do shadows change? How do stars move across the sky? These questions would define the course of his life, a passion for learning. As Ibn al-Haytham grew older, his hunger for knowledge became impossible to ignore. He immersed himself in mathematics, geometry, astronomy, medicine, engineering, philosophy, and theology. During this remarkable period, the Islamic world preserved and expanded the scientific knowledge of earlier civilizations. Libraries contained works from Greek, Persian, Indian, and Roman scholars. But Ibn al-Haytham was different. He respected earlier scholars, yet he refused to accept every idea without proof. He believed that even the greatest minds could make mistakes. For him, truth could only be discovered through careful observation and experimentation. This revolutionary mindset would eventually transform science itself. The journey to Egypt. Ibn al-Haytham's growing reputation eventually reached the Fatimid ruler of Egypt, Caliph al-Hakim by Amr Allah. At the time, the mighty Nile River brought life to Egypt, but its annual floods also caused destruction. Confident in his engineering skills, Ibn al-Haytham believed he could design a system to control the river's waters. The Caliph invited him to Cairo to turn this ambitious vision into reality. For any scholar, this was an extraordinary opportunity. Leaving Basra behind, Ibn al-Haytham embarked on a long journey across deserts and cities toward one of the greatest capitals of the medieval world. As he approached Egypt, he could not have imagined that this journey would change his life forever. The impossible challenge. When Ibn al-Haytham finally reached Egypt, he immediately began studying the mighty Nile River. For generations, the Nile had been both Egypt's greatest blessing and its greatest danger. Every year, its floods brought fertile soil to the farms. But when the waters rose too high, entire villages could be destroyed. The Fatimid ruler hoped that this brilliant engineer could solve a problem that had challenged civilizations for thousands of years. Day after day, Ibn al-Haytham surveyed the river. He climbed rocky hills. He measured the water. He carefully examined the surrounding landscape. But the more he studied, the clearer the truth became. The project he had imagined simply could not be built with the engineering technology available in the 11th century. Many people might have hidden this fact to protect their reputation. But Ibn al-Haytham chose honesty over pride. He admitted that the project was impossible. It was a courageous decision, but one that would change his life forever. House arrest. Historical accounts tell us that Caliph al-Hakim was known for his unpredictable personality. Fearing severe punishment after admitting the project could not be completed, Ibn al-Haytham reportedly pretended to suffer from mental illness. As a result, he was placed under house arrest. To many, confinement would have meant failure. For Ibn al-Haytham, it became an opportunity. Unable to travel freely, he transformed his home into a place of discovery. Instead of building dams, he began exploring something even more mysterious: light itself. Every day, he observed sunlight entering through windows. He experimented with mirrors. He studied shadows. He carefully recorded every result. Without realizing it, he was laying the foundation for modern experimental science, a new way of discovering truth. During Ibn al-Haytham's lifetime, many scholars accepted ideas simply because famous philosophers had written them centuries earlier. But Ibn al-Haytham believed something different. He believed that every idea should be tested: observation, experiment, evidence. These became the pillars of his work. Instead of asking people to trust his opinions, he invited them to repeat his experiments. If the same experiment produced the same result, then the conclusion became stronger. This simple idea seems obvious today, but 1000 years ago it was revolutionary. Many historians now recognize Ibn al-Haytham as one of the earliest pioneers of the scientific method, a method still used in laboratories around the world. If you're enjoying this journey through history, take a moment to support the channel. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another documentary exploring the remarkable people whose discoveries changed our world. Now, let's continue the story. Solving the mystery of vision. For centuries, many believed that our eyes sent invisible rays outward, allowing us to see objects. The theory had been accepted since the time of ancient Greece. But Ibn al-Haytham wasn't convinced. He designed careful experiments to test the idea. Using mirrors, lenses, light, and dark rooms, he reached a completely different conclusion. Light does not come from the eye. Instead, light reflects off objects and travels into our eyes. Today, every student learns this principle. But at the time, it completely transformed humanity's understanding of vision. It remains one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs of the medieval world. The camera obscura. One of Ibn al-Haytham's most famous experiments involved nothing more than a dark room and a tiny opening. As sunlight passed through the small hole, something extraordinary appeared. An inverted image of the outside world was projected onto the wall. This simple experiment demonstrated that light travels in straight lines. The device became known as the camera obscura. Centuries later, this principle inspired the development of cameras, photography, cinema, and modern digital imaging. Every photograph ever taken owes something to the observations made by Ibn al-Haytham over 1,000 years ago. The book that changed science forever. Years of careful observation, repeated experiments, and countless written notes finally came together in one extraordinary masterpiece. Around the early 11th century, Ibn al-Haytham completed his greatest scientific work, Kitab al-Manazir, known in English as the Book of Optics. Rather than relying on assumptions, every chapter reflected careful investigation and evidence. Across 7 remarkable volumes, he explained how light travels, how reflection and refraction work, why shadows change, how mirrors and lenses behave, and most importantly, how human vision truly functions. His writing was clear, logical, and supported by experiments that others could repeat. Unlike many books of the time, this was not simply a collection of opinions. It was a guide to discovering truth through observation and evidence. Historians now consider the Book of Optics one of the most influential scientific books ever written. His ideas cross continents. The influence of Ibn al-Haytham did not end in Egypt. Over the following centuries, his writings traveled across the Islamic world before being translated into Latin. Soon, universities across Europe were studying his work. Students copied his experiments. Professors taught his theories. Scientists debated his ideas. Among those influenced by his research were some of history's greatest minds, including Roger Bacon, Johannes Kepler, and later Isaac Newton. Although these scholars made important discoveries of their own, many built upon foundations that Ibn al-Haytham had established centuries earlier. His ideas became a bridge connecting the scientific achievements of the Islamic Golden Age with the European Renaissance. Beyond optics, although history remembers Ibn al-Haytham as the father of optics, his genius extended far beyond the study of light. He wrote extensively on mathematics, geometry, astronomy, engineering, philosophy, and mechanics. Historical records suggest that he produced more than 200 scholarly works, although many have been lost over time. His mathematical research helped solve complex geometric problems. His astronomical writings encouraged more accurate observation of the heavens. His engineering knowledge demonstrated remarkable practical thinking. No matter the subject, one principle remained unchanged. Observe carefully, question boldly, test every idea. These simple principles continue to guide scientific research even today. His final years. Following the death of Caliph al-Hakim, Ibn al-Haytham regained his freedom. He chose to remain in Cairo, where he devoted the rest of his life to teaching, writing, and scientific research. By now, he had earned the respect of scholars throughout the region. Yet fame never became his goal. He lived a simple life, preferring books over luxury and discovery over wealth. Day after day, students visited to learn from one of the greatest scientific minds of the age. Even in his later years, his curiosity never faded. For Ibn al-Haytham, every unanswered question was another opportunity to understand the remarkable universe created by Allah.
Death of a legend. Around the year 1040 CE, after a lifetime devoted to knowledge and discovery, Ibn al-Haytham passed away in Cairo, Egypt. He was approximately 75 years old. He left behind no palace, no empire, no vast army. Instead, he left something far more enduring. Ideas. Ideas that crossed languages, cultures, and continents. Ideas that continued inspiring scientists long after his own lifetime had ended. His body returned to the earth, but his knowledge continued illuminating the world. Legacy that still shapes our world. More than 1000 years have passed since Ibn al-Haytham first explored the mysteries of light. Yet his influence surrounds us every single day. Whenever a doctor examines a patient's eyes, whenever an astronomer studies distant galaxies, whenever a scientist performs an experiment, whenever someone captures a photograph with a camera or smartphone, the legacy of Ibn al-Haytham lives on. His work laid essential foundations for optics, experimental science, and the pursuit of evidence-based knowledge. He taught the world that true understanding comes not from assumptions but from careful observation, honest questioning, and repeatable experiments. For this reason, history remembers him not only as the father of optics but also as one of the greatest scientists of the Islamic Golden Age and one of humanity's most influential thinkers. His light continues to shine not through lamps or candles, but through every discovery inspired by the scientific method he helped pioneer. Thank you for watching Legend Voice. If you enjoyed learning about the incredible life of Ibn al-Haytham, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more inspiring stories of the greatest minds and heroes in history. Which historical legend would you like us to feature next? Leave your suggestion in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring the past because history continues to shape our future.